What's going on, Taco fam? Alright, so let's have a talk. It's gonna be a quick little video, but let's talk about what happened at the YCS. It's like I can see the future or something. So, if you guys watched my last video, right, a few days right before the YCS, I talked about texts and things to watch out for. I swear people do watch my videos because I told you guys there was going to be a lot of this, a lot of trolls. There was going to be a lot of Runic. People were going to be playing this and citing it going second because they weren't really scared of this. Because they're just like, oh, I can't kill you because I set this or a barrier after you do this to me, and then I kill you the next turn. Then, like I said, people were playing this as well because I figured this was a really good call. Especially if you're playing Branded, it's really good against Sprite and it's good against Naturia Beast in particular. Like, because yes, that matchup's a lot more favorable against us, but playing cards like these is why it was important. There's even an argument to even main deck this and not just side it, just so you have a stronger game one. Because if you're playing against that deck, they might set up a fountain and like blind make Nat Beast. And if they know you, they're probably going to use that to their advantage and just be like, oh, well, he has no real main deck outs outside of normal summon Albaz, but then I'll just stop him. People also, like I said, we all knew this was going to happen because this deck exists. So we also had to play these kind of cards too. And a lot of people was going to be playing these. And if you were playing Brandy, you probably were going to be main decking these. Which makes sense. I'm torn with that because I'm not really sure what I want to do. There's a couple other things we could talk about here. Like some of the ratios that everybody have been doing lately has been very interesting. But everything that I talked about, it seemed that it came to fruition because it was just good text. It was just good ideas. It just made the most sense to me. Like we was all thinking, what can you do game one against the puppet? Nothing. And nobody was prepared for that. Obviously with the YCS showing, unfortunately the conversion rate for Brandon wasn't that great, which I already kind of knew. It's a 12 round long tournament. That's 12 rounds that you could potentially just get ashed constantly. So it was going to be difficult. So I understood why a lot of people made that cross out and stuff like that. It was just better that way. And it made sense to just have an auto win in the main deck, aka the puppet. I've seen a lot of people start playing this again, Aquarius. Like I said, I've always been back and forth on this guy. This is Proskinian. And I do like this a lot more. Proskinian mainly comes up with Super Poly sometimes. But I feel like just floating into this is good because this card, if they out it without killing it by battle, this is Engine. So I guess it makes sense. And a lot of us have already cut this too. Masquerade. I mean, it's not as important. There's still an argument if you want to squeeze it in your extra deck, you can. Some people still side it. Me, over the weekend, I was playtesting the build that I normally was playing. I was just playing without this. I just wanted to focus on killing them as quick as I could so that there was no reason to go into time. And I understand why this is here just as a safety net because you just never know what your opponent's going to do, being honest with you. And I didn't see anybody playing two of these at the YCS, but a lot of them still made the same argument. Yeah, they could play two, but they was always wondering why Cash just was not trying to hit this card. Ever. And like I said, once they realize what this card enables, they're going to start aiming after this. So if y'all don't have a second one, I would suggest trying to trade for one and play it because this is very pivotal for a lot of our combos. And all you Branded players know that. Some people might argue against it, but I'm not certain. I'm thinking about the second Rimbrum still, but it's not too much room because, like I said, I've been testing the Dogmatica version which I've been having some fun with this, and I've been doing pretty good with it. Yeah, the dog cards kind of suck against cash. Like Dear Servant kind of sucks against cash, but if you're maining rulers and stuff like that, or just if you have Ecclesia, if you do open her, you can still get to floor to at least negate it. It gives you more plays whenever you do get Ash, because it's probably going to happen. And if you don't get Ash, you're probably going to win anyway, being honest. It's very difficult for the most part to lose unless they just have all the perfect answers for everything. Then there's some lists that I saw stop playing Dark Magician. It's not super necessary, but I like playing this card just because, like, Dark Magician making goons is just strong to me. I was gonna be silly. I almost wanted to play Red Eyes just because it's just a little greedy. Just wanting to have multiple pops, but no, just having a negate before you Branded Fusion just sounds good to me, being honest with you. And it came up a lot because for some reason I always draw this card anyway, but I was playing white at one point in time as well, and then I would hard open him and like a dragon because I was playing like 6 Bystials, which that was actually pretty good. Yes, Bystials aren't super great right now, but they're engine pieces, being honest with you. And if you do go up against cash, more likely they get sided out. But the reason why I did play the Bystials, outside of being combo cards, they do enable a lot, and they keep you alive. Unless you're facing against a Rise Heart, you're probably not gonna be able to keep using it. But typically, it's like, oh, summon Magna, oh, block an attack, okay, summon another Bystial, block an attack. Or if you need to use it for combos, you can, because they're really good with high spirits, just dragons in general. And like Goons is still good, but I can see why not playing it, because I'm still playing the one because I only have one, but I think it's fine. If cash hits it out of my extra deck, that's cool. I'd rather them hit the Goons than hit other stuff. And yes, it kind of sucks if they do, because if you draw the Dark Magician, then what do you do with it? Well, I'm just confused with it, honestly. Just use it for something or discard it for something else. But if it does come up, then it comes up. It's not too much you can really do about it, because the extra deck is pretty tight, especially depending on whatever build you play or whatever you choose to do. And I've definitely still been liking the high spirits, so even as just a one of, I think it's still really good. I've seen a lot of people talk about a second red, and I guess it makes sense. But for my build, I don't play that many Despias. I just played the best one because I still stand by this statement. All Despia monsters outside of Quinn, which we're getting later, and Aluber, they're all bricks. And this deck already has a hard time with being consistent. And we only have one fusion card, so I would just prefer not to brick. So yes, Bystials are bricks, Dark Magician's brick, but Pup is bricks. The Dogmatica engine, maybe. Well, not the Dogmatica engine themselves, just Fleur de Lis is a brick, but that is kind of like an engine requirement, so it's like give and take. You just gotta pick what you want to brick on, basically, if you do brick, which hopefully you don't. But yeah, it's not too much to say. It's like everything that I talked about pretty much was true, and a lot of people were really doing those kind of trends. So hopefully you guys did do well, any of you guys who watch my channel, even if you made day 2 or if you topped at all, that's great. I'm glad y'all did. Hopefully the information that I do give you guys helps a lot. And let's try to keep evolving Branded. Let's get it better, because it's under the radar for a lot of people. People don't think it's going to last very long in these type of tournaments, which makes sense. But if we keep analyzing the meta and adjusting our deck and really get into the formula on how to not brick that often, I think this will definitely be the best deck. Yes, cash is just better overall because of what it does and how it can survive through a lot of stuff. But when they're doing, runic things, that's when it gets really annoying, like, which I expected a lot of. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this type of video, I know I'm just kind of ranting. leave me a like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and let's keep socializing. Peace.